story? What else is happening around the world?
My news story is totally different. It's from The Observer on Sunday, and a lady called Carol LeBeau, a top US academic, has written a book called Prude, and basically it's about the over-sexualisation of young girls in the UK today. She's basically saying that today's girls prefer to look sexy rather than be clever.
Interesting.
So in other words, she's saying, you know, it's not really cool to be clever, and people are more focused and interested in using their sexuality. She goes on to say that women have fought for decades to be treated as equals, yet today's girls have been told that female empowerment simply comes from being sexy. Girls compete on the basis of how much they're willing to do for boys.
Wow.
That's scary.
It's very scary. You know, that's interesting. I was on Sunday watching a programme about the Spice Girls, and it was kind of in the background as I was doing some domestics. And as I was actually cooking, and it was in the background, but it caught my ear because what they were talking about was the concept of girl power. And they were saying that with the phenomenon of the Spice Girls in the early 90s, what that actually did for young women is it gave them the power to feel that they could be loud, laddish, sexy, overtly sexy. And there was two arguments that were going on in the programme. There was one set of women that were saying it's not a good example of empowerment for young women, and they were saying that the Spice Girls were therefore a negative influence on a generation of young women. And it was interesting because they then interviewed these girls who were Spice Girls fans as you know, early teens, now in their 20s, and looking at a comparison between what it was that they were into at that age and now the fact that they're going out and they're drinking and they're smoking and they're having sex and all the rest of it, and they were trying to draw a correlation. I mean, what do you guys think?
Madonna was doing all of that when I was growing up. I mean, there's always been that sort of, that bad girl, that's always been there, I think. I don't think it's anything new. Do you think it's new?
I don't think it's new, but everything's just becoming more sanitized now. Everything is acceptable. I mean, even if you look at kids' fashions, I'm quite surprised.
Horrified.
Especially those FC UK T-shirts. That's totally.
I mean, it goes on here. Michelle Elliott, a director of a children's charity called Kidscape, she's launched a campaign against toy makers who produce items such as pole dancing kits and songs on girls to the face saying eye candy. You know,
but you wouldn't let your child buy that,
but the thing is, I mean, there's a market for this, so somebody must be buying it.
But the thing is, where does it stop? Because I saw a young girl in a boob shop, and I'm sorry, I don't think that 4-year-olds should be in a boob tube, you know, in the summer. And I don't think 4-year-olds should be in boob tubes. I just kind of looked and thought, you know, she's a child. Why has she got...
Oh, it was shoulder pads, that kind of
hair. These young girls, they're really, you know, it's like the whole thing now with people aim to be celebrities, the opposed to someone aim to be...
But that's so... I mean, I don't know about when you were growing up, but that would have been so uncool to be like Britney or that, or is it Paris Hilton? That's not very cool.
Yeah, but it's changed,
like
doesn't it?
Paris Hilton, you know, they're held up as role models for some people.
Brilliant. Well, let's move on to the topic of...